Hey guys, so I am back with another video podcast. See, I was trying to upload to what's it called? To Podbean, but it's just too freaking complicated. And I am just not about that life. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna upload to YouTube for now. I'm just going to put a picture and just do it that way until I can figure it out, because I'm thinking about using SoundCloud, but yeah, it seemed like it took like 10 years for it to upload, so I'm just like, you know what, screw it. And like Podbean, they only give you like 5 hours and then you have to pay, and I'm like, you know what, I already pay for YouTube Red, like I don't need to be paying for all this crap. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking about negative people and negative situations. I feel like me and my wife have a lot of experience with this aspect in our lives at this moment. More so my wife. I really want to get her a microphone. Really, really do. Like, really bad. Because I really want her to I want to be able to do podcasts with her and like have her here to kind of talk about, you know, certain things, like get her views on it, because obviously we have different views, you know what I mean? We have different, like, what's the word? You know, we have different things like that we go through, that, you know, we see different. So yeah, so negative people, I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot. You know, I feel like the situation that my wife and I are going through right now is a difficult situation, and I feel like it's kind of one of those things where unless you're living it, you really don't understand. And I feel like that's a lot of circumstances, a lot of situations, but I feel like I have to like explain it to people for them to maybe somewhat understand why we put up with what we put up with. And like I said, I don't have a lot of patience. I have patience for certain things, but I just especially do not have patience for ignorant, rude, like just dumb people, right? And so, you know, I just don't have patience for it. And I think there's a lot of people in this world who have to put up with certain people for reasons. And you know, I used to judge people, I'm not going to lie, about why. Why do you put up with it? Why do you put up with these people? You know? And now that I understand, like, what I'm going through and what Ashley's going through, it's kind of like, I get it. Why people kind of, you know what I mean? Like, why they stick around and they deal with certain people. And so I don't really judge people anymore, you know? Because, I mean, if it was, like, up to me, if it didn't affect my wife, and if it didn't affect our marriage, and if it didn't affect just a lot of things, you know, I feel like these people would be gone. And I feel like that's with a lot of people. I feel like there's a lot of people who want to, you know, get these negative people out of their life, but they just can't for whatever reason. And I just think that we just shouldn't judge people, you know, about why they keep toxic people in their lives, you know? And these people that I'm talking about is, you know, she's been friends with my wife for over 10 years now. And I just want to kind of like give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So Ashley, my wife, I'm sure she's known her for about probably like 12 years, and they actually met because her boyfriend was actually cheating on her this with her friend. And so they ended up becoming friends, that whole stereotypical thing, whatever. And they were friends for a long ass time. And you know, there's a situation that happened. Basically, I ended up meeting her friend. What's it called? When I was 16, because she actually worked for my mom, and she was like a assistant with my mom, and we were actually really good friends. We hung out and everything. But I was dating a girl at the time, and uh, we I don't we broke up. Um, me and that girl broke up in like February of 2012, and I was single for about 4 months, and then I got with Ashley. Um, but the whole time that like before, when I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, well, my ex-girlfriend, she was fine. She was a good friend. She was whatever. But as soon as we broke up, she just started acting really weird. Like, I could just tell she was like into me, but I just did not see her that way. I didn't see her that way at all. And she basically, um, she basically had this fantasy in her head that we were together. She would tell people, like, lie to people, tell them that me and her were together. We were in a relationship. We were married, and all this crazy shit. And I ended up not finding any of this out until I got with Ashley, because she was actually the one that told me she put on this facade. But I told Amber straight up I was not into her. Um, and um, she basically just didn't. I don't know. I guess she just didn't believe me or whatever the case was. But every time she would try to basically assert herself on me or make a move, I just like was not about it. I wasn't attracted to her in any kind of way. I just did not see her like that. I saw her as a friend, and that was it. I had no attraction to her at all. And I just don't think she really like got that, cuz even though I made it like known, like I just feel like she just was too sucked into her delusional world that she just didn't believe it. So basically what happened is me and my wife, well, me and Ashley at the time, we ended up getting back in contact, and through her actually, um, I don't want to talk about how we got in contact because I feel like it's a little personal for my wife, and I don't want to like put her business out there and all that stuff, and stuff like that. So I'd rather just like not talk about that. Um, but it wasn't a good situation basically for how we met each other. Like, we had no ill will against each other or anything. It's just the situation that happened just wasn't. It wasn't like we met or conversated basically, you know, because of good things. So anyway, so basically about a month later after I talked to her, we met up, and I was a dumbass. I was still drinking all the time, doing dumb shit. And I actually went with Amber, and she picked me up, and we went, and she basically was just, I made my own alcohol. I had, vodka and some orange juice, or not orange juice, orange Powerade that I mixed together. Because back then I can drink vodka straight and it didn't affect me. I'm such an old person now. I can't do nothing anymore. Like, I swear to God, I can't even drink. I'm so old. But yeah. So basically, she, I was having fun. I was drinking. I was already like kind of tipsy when I met up with Ashley. but I was more used to alcohol. So it's like I had to drink a lot for me to kind of get drunk because I was so used to it. So basically, I went and we met up with her, and she actually had a boyfriend at the time, which I didn't know about, you know. And my wife is a little sneak, and she decided to flirt with me, and I was too drunk to notice to ask questions. So basically, yeah, so that's all she wrote. I don't really want to get too into that. Um, so basically that happened, and and Amber was pissed. She was mad as hell. She was so pissed that I got with her sister. And it's not really her sister. They call themselves their sisters, but it's like a friendship sister thing. They're obviously not like actual sisters, like by blood. Um, but yeah, so basically she was like pissed off that I ended up getting with her sister. And when I first saw Ashley, like I had the hots for her. I thought she was really attractive, and I thought she was super funny in her personality and everything. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get with her, right? So she's after that, she just I don't know what happened to her, but she just changed, man. I swear to God. She just did like a 360. Like before that, when she thought that, there was no chance of me and my wife getting together, she was fine. But I swear to God, I feel guilty every day because I feel like it's my fault that she treats my wife like shit because I ruined her delusion, And I know it's not like technically my fault. I understand that. But it's like it's just like I feel bad because she now has to deal with this girl treating her like shit every day of her life because I decided to get with her, get with Ashley instead of her. And I know what everybody's probably going to think, why doesn't she just get rid of her? Like, why? And like I said in the beginning, people have their reasons. There's a lot of reasons. Unfortunately, my wife and I, we can't live together right now. And that's because, she has to take care of grandma and everything like that. And unfortunately, she has to deal with these people, with this girl because she basically, if she wasn't around, we would never see each other because she would be stuck there all the time. She would never get a break. She'd never be able to come home. Like, it would just be worse, We try to see each other at least every week. I try to go over there. She tries to come over here. And then we skip a week, so it's not like too much traveling for both of us. But if she would never be able to come home. Like, she would never be able to come here. I would always have to go to her, and like it wouldn't be able to happen that often because I gotta work, So there's like that's just like one of the big things, and unfortunately, it's like she's willing to put up with that so that we can see each other, and it's like this whole thing is just fucked up. But like I said, like people, they do shit to be able to, to they put up with people so that they can get, because they feel like they need to. But I just feel like at times, it's just like negative people really drain you, and for a person like me, I just like, I suck in so much energy from people, and so it's like when you're constantly around like negative ass people, it's kind of hard to be happy. It's kind of hard to, to stay positive and everything else, So it's just, for me, I just get upset because it's just this girl, she treats my wife like shit every single fucking day. Literally every single day. There's not one day they go without fighting. Literally not one day. The only time they ever go one day without fighting, maybe, is if I'm there and she's not around her as much, or if Ashley's over here. maybe, because they can still fight over the phone. But like literally, it's like every single fucking day they're like fighting, and it's like it like gets on my damn nerves because it's just like there's no freaking need for it, you know. And the reason I want to talk about this too is because people, you know, there's so many fake people in this world today. You know, like loyalty is just gone way out the fucking window. Loyalty doesn't even exist anymore. It's just like, I mean, I know there's still people that are loyal, like don't get me wrong, but it's not as common, you know, as before. And she's just the kind of person that basically will throw you under the bus, back over you, like run you over again and back over you again. She literally does not give a fuck. She will lie to benefit herself. She will make you feel like shit and blame it on you. Like she'll give you an attitude and then make you feel crazy. She'll be like, I didn't give you an attitude. Like trying to act like, you know, you're overreacting. And I'm like, the hell? So like she's just obnoxious. There's so many things I can say about this girl, but I don't want to go there. All I'm saying is, you know, I wanted to come on here to talk about, you know, how to deal with negative people, especially if you can't remove them from your life at some point, at that moment in your life. And that's another thing too, is like, basically I'm seeing my therapist. I see a therapist once a week, and she has been helping me for over 3 years. She's great. I really like her and stuff like that. And you know, I talked to her a lot about the situation with Ashley and Amber, and I asked her, I'm like, how do I deal with it? How do I not get mad? How do I not let her get to me? You know, because it just seems like she knows all the right buttons to push on me to make me mad. And I'm like, and just the fact that she treats my wife like shit is already enough to basically, you know, send me there. And I feel like it's like, how do I cope with that, you know? And basically she just tells me not to react. I mean, I know it's like easier said than done, but if I just like don't react to her, if I just like ignore her, I don't react to a situation and I don't get angry about it, I'm just calm about it, and I just like, either if she just starts getting an attitude or something, I just walk away. I feel so much better. And I know a lot of times, especially if you're like me, if you're a person like me where you feel like you need to defend yourself or other people at all costs because you don't want someone to feel like they're getting away with doing you wrong or doing someone you love wrong. That's how I am. I always feel like people need to have justice, and I don't want to feel like people are getting away with dumb shit. I just don't want to, you know, I don't want to feel that way. So basically I will like, so that's really hard for me to do that. But I've realized that the more I react to her, the more that she enjoys it, because she's a bully, and she basically she wants you to feel like shit. She wants to get you mad. She wants to get a reaction out of you. And so what I've realized is the less that I give her a reaction, and the more I ignore her and act like what she's doing isn't bothering me, it just seems like she doesn't know what to do with herself, you know, because she's like, shit, like, what am I going to do, you know? And my wife's been doing it, you know? I mean, we've been just trying to basically just do our thing, you know? We've been basically just trying to do our thing and just ignore it, you know, and stuff like that. So, like, that's probably, like, my first advice is, like, just don't react, you know. And I know obviously that's easier said than done, but you're going to feel a lot better if you just take a breath and just walk away and just focus on yourself, you know. And this is especially definitely for a person where you can't get them out of your life for whatever reason. This will help you a lot, because if you have to deal with this person on a daily basis and you can't just walk away, it's going to come in handy because you'll be so calm. You won't, you know what I mean? So you won't care. And another thing that I suggest too is definitely write about it. You know, if you feel like you can't talk about it, or you don't have anyone to talk to at that moment in time, just write about it. Like, I can't even tell you how good I feel after I've gotten pissed about something or heard about something, and I write about it, because I feel like if I talk about it, it's just going to come off so wrong. So I'm like, it's better if I just voice my opinion with my pen, you know, in my notebook. Because once I write about it, I can come back calm and I can talk about it, and I don't you know what I mean? I don't come off as being an asshole. So, yeah, so that's why I write. So definitely get a journal, you know, write, get your feelings out. But I mean, if you're the kind of person that can talk even when you're mad, and talk calmly and not say like mean things and shit, not like overreact, then definitely I would talk about it. But if you're the kind of person like me that needs space before you can talk about something because you're afraid you're just gonna get too mad, then definitely just write, you know. And so like that, just try to do that, you know, and just like tell yourself that this isn't gonna last forever. You know what I mean? It's not. This isn't gonna last forever. Like, eventually you're not gonna have to deal with it. Eventually they're gonna be gone, you know, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So, you know, I don't really have a lot of advice because I'm still learning, and stuff like that. But definitely those two, like, I know they seem simple, but I mean, definitely the reaction might be a little bit harder, or the not reacting, I mean. But even though they sound simple, they'll help you tremendously, you know. And I think, I think that it'll help you. So like I said, if there's anybody out there that is dealing with something like this with negative people, just try to stay as calm as you can, and just don't let them take your shine. Don't let them take your happiness, because that's what they're aiming for. You know, so if you let them take your happiness, then they're winning. So just remember that. If you don't want them to win and you don't want them to have control over you, just remember, just don't react. So, yeah. So, that's all I really have to say on this one. It's going to be kind of shorter. So yeah, I just want to talk about that because I just want to get some stuff off my chest. And I'm sure people out there can relate to what I'm going through, what my wife is going through. So I got to figure out some more topics to talk about on my podcast, because, man, I can go forever. But, yeah. So I'm going to end up probably looking up some more topics and then do some more podcasts and figure that out. But I really want to write about what I really, really want to talk about. So I'm going to go and figure that out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, you can subscribe to my, you can like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to get my SoundCloud figured out. But I don't know. I just got to figure it out. If it's just going to be too much of a hassle, then I'm just going to be doing videos on here, but obviously just with the picture. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and keep your head up, and I'll see you later.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave